When I was young, I read a lot of science fiction. My favourite books was Islands in the Sky. It's about this teenager who finds a loophole in a competition to go anywhere in the world and ends up on a space station, orbiting. It's a fabulous, fabulous book. The reason I love science fiction is because it gives you a glimpse of the future. The reason I love technology is because it feels like we're living that future today. I was in Silicon Valley a few months ago in an Uber, which I think is a fabulous invention in itself. And in front of us on the highway, there was a self-driving car, driving itself. The guy hands off the wheel, just this thing driving itself down the middle of the road. It's absolutely incredible. It felt like I was living part of that science fiction future that I'd read so much about. And then you come on to banking. And it still feels like we're living in a world that looks like this. Well, I signed up for my first bank account with Chesham Building Society, about 1997 or something, I think. And I got a little passbook. And I'd go in with my cheque from my grandmother, and I'd pay it in, and they'd write a credit. And then once I'd saved up enough money, I'd go in again to take my money out and buy a football kit or whatever it was, and they'd write a little debit. And these credits and debits would sum to your balance, and that was sort of what a bank account was, a passbook about that big. And in the intervening 15 or 20 years, we got telephone banking, where you could phone up and hear a list of credits and debits, sum to a balance. And then you had internet banking, where you could log onto a website and see a list of credits and debits that summed up to a balance. But it was sort of 2 or 3 days out of date and didn't really do anything. You know, more convenient, I guess. And now you have mobile banking. A little book about this big, your mobile phone. You log on and see a list of credits and debits that sums to a balance, about 2 or 3 days out of date. Doesn't really do anything. That, to me, seems like the sum total of innovation in banking. Really not very much has changed. Your balance is out of date, you get hit with fees and charges, you go abroad, and your card gets blocked for suspected fraud. In a world where Google can make cars that drive themselves down the road, my bank can't tell me how much money I have in my account. Something strange seems to have happened in banking. In a world that doesn't look like this, that actually looks more like this. I think we're on the brink of a huge revolution in retail banking, and I'm going to tell you why. So this is, I've been an unhappy NatWest customer for about 20 years now. I moved on from Chesham Building Society in about 1998. And there are a number of things that annoy me about my bank. This is one, the way we rely on pieces of paper as proof of identity. To tell you a story, my co-founder at Monzo, a guy called Jonas, is not a British citizen. He came to live here, and he wanted to sign up for a GP, a doctor. And he had to take in a paper statement, a proof of identity. He found it easier to forge a bank statement than actually get a paper statement delivered to him. Any child with a laser printer and a set of paper can forge documents more easily than you can get your bank to send you a piece of paper for identity, which seems a little strange. When you have this kind of thing going on, connect with Facebook, what if that was connect with your bank? What if you could take that verified identity, that trusted relationship, and take that to third parties? So next time you go into a GP, you just use your thumbprint to prove who you are. Or what if you could access all of the data inside your bank account? So instead of just being a dumb list of credits and debits that's 2 or 3 days out of date, it's instead a useful list of your transactional history. Why might you want to do that? Well, instead of going to Money Supermarket and typing in your car insurance details, you'd simply click to connect with your bank account, and Money Supermarket would go in and tell you where you could save money, and then with a single click help you change providers. Or alternatively, if you've got £2,000 or £3,000 spare, an investment advisor could go in and move your money around for you, using this smart technology, AI and machine learning, to help improve your life in some small way. So Well, so what, I guess? I think banking is on the brink of a revolution, and I think the next company that's the size of Uber or Facebook or Google is going to be built on top of the banks. I don't think they're going to be built by the banks. I think they're going to be built on top of these APIs that are opening up. So there's a piece of legislation called Payment Service Directive 2, which is 500 pages of fascinating read. But what it means is that all banks have to open up functionality like this. They have to help you take your identity and your transaction data to third parties. So you can access that data and share it and get benefit from it. And so the next Uber or Facebook is going to be built on top of those APIs. And perhaps the next founder of those companies is sitting in the audience. So if you're looking for something to do from 2018, go and have a look at this piece of legislation and perhaps think about building the next Uber or Facebook or Google on top of your banking data. Thank you. Oops.